All right, so now we're going to look at this graph. And so in this case, we're going to be looking at the limit at x equals -3, 0, and 3. So we'll start with the limit as x approaches -3 from both sides of the function. And we'll take a quick look here at where -3 is. And -3 is actually the location of a vertical asymptote. So we're going to get an interesting answer here. So we'll start from the right side and we follow the function. And as we get closer to x equals -3, we hit that vertical asymptote. And it's not going to allow us to ever really hit that value of x equals -3. So we have to say, well, what is happening as we get very close to it, right? As we approach -3, what is happening to the y values? And in this case, the y values are getting smaller and smaller. We are going further down the negative part of the y-axis. And so, because our values are getting smaller and smaller, they're getting larger and larger negative numbers, we're going to be reaching -infinity, at least from the right side. But from the left side, we're going in the opposite direction. As we get closer and closer to x equals -3, we are reaching higher and higher values of y, right? Greater and greater numbers. And so that one is going to infinity. And so because the right side is heading towards -infinity, but the left side is going to +infinity, they don't agree, and so we have to say that the limit from both sides does not exist. But how about the limit as x approaches 0? In this case, we'll start from the right side, and as we get closer to 0, we find ourselves at y equals 2. And from the left side, we also find ourselves at y equals 2. So this one was a nice one, and we can just say that the value as x approaches 0 from both sides of the function is 2. But then for the limit as x approaches 3 from both sides of the function, we also find ourselves at another vertical asymptote. From the left side, we're going to be getting closer and closer and closer to that x equals 3 mark, but we're never going to reach it, just like we did with -3, and we can see that our y values are going to increasingly get smaller, so we know that we're heading towards -infinity in that direction. But from the right side, we're getting larger and larger, and so we're going to be heading towards +infinity. And so we can say that the limit as x approaches 3 from both sides of the function simply doesn't exist because the left side and the right side limits do not agree.